My name is Aisha, and if I don't tell this story myself, no one ever will. From the outside, our house in Birmingham looked normal. A small semi-detached home with white windows and a narrow garden. People walked past it every day, without ever guessing what happened behind that front door. They saw curtains. They didn't see bruises. They heard silence. They didn't hear screams. I was 9 when my father died in a car accident. He was a taxi driver. Every morning he used to kiss my forehead before leaving for work. The last time he did it, I complained that his beard scratched my skin. If I could go back, I would never complain again. After he died, our house changed. My mother changed. Bills started piling up. I would hear her crying at night when she thought I was asleep. I would lie in bed staring at the ceiling, listening to her quiet sobs through the wall. 2 years later, she told me she was getting married again. "We can't survive alone," she said softly. I nodded. I was scared, but I hoped maybe things would get better. I didn't know we were inviting something far worse into our home. The day they arrived, her name was Nazia. She walked into our house like she already owned it. Expensive perfume, perfect smile, sharp eyes. With her came her son, Fahad. He was 4 years older than me. Tall, broad shoulders, strong build like someone who trained at the gym every day. "From today, I'm your second mother," Nazia said sweetly. Fahad smirked. "Hey, little sister." His smile didn't reach his eyes. For the first few weeks, everything seemed fine. Nazia praised me in front of guests. "She's such a quiet girl." But once the guests left, the tone changed. The first slap, it happened over laundry. I folded the clothes the wrong way. That was it. Nazia picked up the stack and threw it onto the floor. "What is this? Can't you do one thing properly?" "I'm sorry. I'll fix it," I said quickly. The slap came without warning. My cheek burned. My ears rang. She leaned closer and whispered, "Don't make me regret accepting you." Accepting me? As if I was a burden she had agreed to carry. That was the first time she hit me. It wasn't the last. A new routine. Soon my life changed completely. I woke up at 5 a.m. every day. Clean the kitchen. Prepare breakfast. Iron clothes. Wash dishes. Go to school. Come home and cook dinner. If I was slow, I was slapped. If I made a mistake, I was shoved. If Fahad complained, I was punished. Fahad enjoyed it. He would hide his own things and accuse me of stealing. Once, he grabbed my wrist and twisted it so hard I screamed. "She's lying," he shouted. Nazia didn't ask questions. She struck me across the head. Later that evening, Fahad found the missing item under his bed. No apology, no guilt, just silence. The stairs. One afternoon, I was carrying laundry downstairs. Fahad came up behind me. Without warning, he shoved me. I fell halfway down the staircase before hitting the railing. My elbow split open. Blood ran down my arm. Nazia looked down at me calmly. "Be more careful," she said. That day I understood something important. They weren't losing control. They were in control. My mother's silence. The pain wasn't the worst part. The worst part was my mother's silence. She saw everything. She heard everything. But she never stepped in. One night after Fahad pushed me into the wall so hard my lips split open, I looked at her and asked, "Why?" She whispered, "Please endure it. We have nowhere else to go." That answer broke something inside me permanently. I wasn't being protected. I was being sacrificed. The winter night, December was freezing that year. I placed Fahad's jacket in the wrong cupboard. He exploded. He shoved me hard into the wall. My head struck the plaster. Then Nazia came in. She removed her belt. The sound of it slicing through the air still haunts me. Each strike burned into my skin. When they finished, they locked me in my room. No dinner, no water, no heating. That night, sitting on the floor shaking, something changed inside me. I stopped asking why. I stopped hoping for love. I started remembering, recording, preparing, because deep inside, a small voice whispered, "This won't last forever." After that winter night, I stopped crying in front of them. Pain still hurt, but I refused to give them the satisfaction of seeing me break. That made Fahad angrier. He started watching me constantly. If I studied, he would switch off the light. You think electricity is free? If I sat for 5 minutes, he snapped his fingers. Why are you resting? They slowly isolated me. No friends. No staying late at school. No phone privacy. One evening, Fahad invited friends over. Bring tea, he ordered. When one of them asked if I was his sister, he laughed. No, she's just the house help. They laughed. My face burned with humiliation. That night, he punished me for attitude. The false accusation. The turning point came with a lie. My wallet is missing, Fahad shouted one afternoon. He looked straight at me. You went into my room. I didn't, I whispered. They searched my bag. And suddenly the wallet appeared under my notebook. He had planted it. I didn't take it. I cried. The beating that followed was the worst yet. When it was over, I lay on the kitchen floor, barely able to breathe. My mother stood in the doorway, crying, but still not moving. That night, I made a decision. If I stayed silent, I would not survive. I started collecting evidence. Photos of bruises, audio recordings, dates written in a hidden notebook. I was no longer just a victim. I was a witness. The breaking night. 1 week later, Fahad came home angry. He accused me of talking at school. He slammed my head against the refrigerator. Nasia told him coldly. Hit her where it won't show. That sentence changed everything. 2 days later, our neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, knocked on the door. I heard shouting last night, she said. She looked at me carefully. Are you all right, love? For the first time in years. I didn't say yes, and she understood. Social services. 2 officers came days later. They sat with me alone. You can speak freely, one said. My hands were shaking. But I spoke. Everything, the belt, the stairs, the wallet, the recordings. When they listened to Nasia saying, hit her where it won't show, the room went silent. For the first time, they looked afraid. Not of me, for me. The investigation began quietly. Medical exams confirmed repeated injury. School staff reported behavioral changes. Mrs. Thompson gave a statement about hearing crying. When confronted, Nasia denied everything. She's dramatic. Fahad was furious. You're ruining this family. But the evidence was stronger than their anger. The final meeting. Police and social services gathered in our living room. Photos of bruises were placed on the table. Audio transcripts. Medical notes. They turned to my mother. Were you aware of the abuse? Silence filled the room. Then she whispered, yes. Hearing it out loud hurt more than anything. She knew, and she chose silence. Consequences? A protection order was issued. Fahad was removed from the house. Nasia faced legal charges for physical abuse. I testified in court months later. My voice didn't shake. The recordings were played. The truth was undeniable. Fahad received a conviction for assault. Nasia was legally penalized and restrained. When I stepped outside the courthouse, I took the deepest breath of my life. For the first time, the air felt light, healing. Justice doesn't erase trauma. I had nightmares. I flinched at loud sounds. Therapy helped. Slowly. Painfully. But it helped. Today, I study psychology. I volunteer with domestic abuse survivors. And whenever I sit across from a scared girl who thinks it's her fault, I tell her, it's not, because someone should have told me that sooner. My name is Aisha. I wasn't a daughter in that house. I was treated like a punishment, but I survived. And they no longer control the ending of my story.